We're on. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Hamza. This is the new show. I haven't named it yet. Let me say hello to everybody out there. And hello to Hamza.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if you want to get closer, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
So, because it's the first episode, we had some, what do you say, hiccups?
Yeah,
Just like-
hiccups, issues.
Yeah, I'm trying to set this podcast, and this is me doing it for the very first time. And I decided to go a different route than everybody else in the podcast world, if you will. So my name is Fuad Hamza. Hamza has been a teacher, an English teacher.
For the past 10 years now, yeah, I
Cool.
believe.
We met once at the institute in Jeddah called
Canadian Creative
the
Center.
Canadian
Yeah,
Creative
yeah.
Center.
A while back.
Yeah, and alhamdulillah, I had his contact number ever since, and I just called him up and said, you know what, let's do a podcast. The podcast idea is for me to learn and for everybody to also learn while connecting on different issues. And you will see me talking in Arabic and English, maybe at the same time, maybe in
Minimize Arabic, man.
Yeah.
My Arabic is trash, you know.
I doubt it, but yeah, sure. So I decided to make the first episode in English. I don't know. I'm trying to prove maybe to myself my ability to speak in English, as well as learn on the way, and kind of diversify between English and Arabic. Inshallah, there will be an episode entirely in Arabic, and so on. So, I don't know how to start this. I'm gonna just let you talk, or maybe introduce yourself to.
All right.
to the
My
people.
name is Hamza Marsh. I'm from the States. I've been an English teacher for the past 10 years. I've been living in Saudi Arabia for quite a while. And as he said, I met him through a friend who was also a teacher, like in the Canadian Creative Center, like a few years back.
Yeah.
And then he decided to do this podcast. I found it interesting, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I wanted, and the whole mission of doing the podcast is, I'm trying to, what do you call it? Create new path.
Okay.
Or kind of find insight while talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Kind of the Joe Rogan experience in a way, if you
Yeah,
will.
I get you, yeah.
So Hamza, I'm gonna start asking you, like, so I
Alright.
want to start the conversation. I don't know where to begin. We had a pretty long conversation before we start
Yeah, yeah, like-
podcast about life.
When you're
And-
recording, you know, you kind
Yeah,
of get...
personal stuff. I don't want to get into it.
No,
'cause it's
not-
kind of
not really.
private, you know.
Why don't we start off on a very simple topic? Let's say,
Right.
for example, life after COVID.
Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you. I mean,
Alright.
being an expat in Saudi Arabia, who, I mean, you've been living here for quite a while. You know the culture.
Yeah.
You're almost as Saudi as the rest of us.
You can say that
Yeah.
in a way.
But how did it affect you? I mean, being here, the COVID, the current quarantine thing. You tell me.
Well, you know, I just like to start off by saying, regardless of where you are in the world, COVID has affected every aspect of life. Everyone has been affected by COVID, no matter where you are in the world. I mean, it is really unprecedented. Like, we never had like a pandemic like this before, like where everything has affected your work, you know, family, seeing family and stuff like that. So this is like a big wake-up call for everyone. Like, we just have to try to live with it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Last year I was planning on going back home for
Yeah, I remember meeting you like before COVID.
Yeah, that was a while back, man.
And what changed? I mean, is it because the COVID you had all your plans, like you stopped all your plans, or what happened?
No, I'm still on track to doing what I planned to do. You know, I was married for like 3.5 years now. I have a son. He's like 3 years old.
Mashallah.
And well, I had plans. You know, I was planning on leaving Saudi permanently, but then COVID happened.
And now you got stuck.
And my wife, you know, she's also working here. So we didn't really agree on when we were going to leave, but it was scheduled.
Right.
After COVID, that caused some complications because if I were to leave the country, then it wasn't guaranteed that I'll be able to get back, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we had to postpone everything.
Yeah.
And now everything's on hold, but you know, it's still going to happen in the near future. Now things have opened back up.
Right.
At least the restrictions are now moved, so I believe, it's just complicated, man.
It is. My experience in the quarantine time when it had us, I mean, I was planning on doing a coffee bar.
Oh, really?
As a side business, yeah. I bought an espresso machine, the whole thing.
Wow.
And then COVID happened. I'm gonna ask you about being a teacher here, an English teacher. Like, how was that experience? The whole, mashallah, how long has it been now?
I've been teaching for 10 years now, man.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, really long. So I have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was a bit of a challenge because, you know, I didn't know the culture very well. And there are certain things you can't say, you know what I mean?
Right.
So my approach was wrong at the beginning. Like, I didn't really know how to get through to these Arabic-speaking people. And, you know, their language is quite different from the English language. Like, Arabic and English are quite different. The structure of yes,
I don't know.
yes, the sentences.
We think, I guess, from right to left.
Pretty much.
And you guys think from left to right.
That's correct.
When it comes to structuring the sentence.
Yeah, like with the whole thing, like some words are reversed. Like in Arabic, the adjectives come after the noun, while in English, the adjectives come before the noun. You just have to try to. It's like trying to reprogram their mind with a different language.
Yeah, interesting. I mean,
but
from your perspective, is a different. I mean, you see it the other way around.
Yeah.
While I see it as an Arabic speaker,
I know some native speakers or some Westerners who came here to Saudi.
Right.
They assumed that teaching English would be like a walk in the park. But once they stepped in the classroom, they found it a bit more challenging.
Teaching English?
Yeah, to the Saudis, you know, or the Arabic-speaking people.
Where do you think is the challenge? Is it the mindset?
Well,
or a lot of different things.
When I first started teaching, English wasn't like, they weren't really serious about English like in the schools here. Yeah. Like they give them a little English test and have a teacher come in every now and then and explain some grammar and some vocabulary to them. But they weren't really serious about it. So when you start off with them, most of these students, even though they studied English before, didn't really have a strong foundation. Okay. So we had to start from scratch, from the alphabet and up. So it was a challenge for them because, you know, them being here in Saudi or in an Arabic-speaking country, they don't practice much. So the only chance they get to speak English is in that classroom. And once they go outside, you know, with their friends and their family, it's all Arabic. So that some students would ask me, teacher, how am I expected to improve my English if I'm in an Arabic-speaking country and I have no one else to speak to in English?
Pretty much the same struggle with everybody who speak English. And
exactly.
His first language is not English. Right?
Exactly.
So, what would you say to them? I mean, what did you say to them?
Well, my advice to them is to try to expose themselves to English as much as possible. You have YouTube. You can watch conversation videos.
But YouTube is a one-way kind of
it is
tool.
But, you know, you can listen to natural English conversation videos with subtitles. Right. You'll catch the pronunciation and the vocabulary in these conversations at the same time. Sure. Like, you can also, like, let's say, I don't know, you could, on social media, you can make friends, Facebook, you know what I mean? Like, you can make friends with people there. Most people here have friends, like, living abroad. You could, like, try to get in touch with them every now and then, try to Skype them or, like, do some sort of, call and, whatever. But it's complicated, but
you can get there. I mean,
you can. Like, you just have to be motivated, you know what I mean?
If you made some effort.
Yeah, it's all about
like
you.
I did.
Yes, it's like, you're a great example, man. Like, here, you're living here in Saudi, you really, like, you don't have too many friends who speak English, do you?
Right, no. Like native speakers, I can only say you.
Oh, really?
Then I had, Romeo, my previous teacher.
Yeah, that was a while ago,
Right.
man. But because you were ambitious and you were interested in the language, you...
For now, yani.
Yeah, you look at you now, like, your English is pretty good right now.
Yeah, but, my experience was, like you said, try to find kind of source or resource. Which one is the correct? This is the idea of the
Depending
podcast.
on what you
I'm
mean,
learning as I speak. So guys, don't expect me to be very fluent.
Yeah, it's all
I'm trying
good.
to actually improve myself.
Yeah, I'm trying to speak, like, in a way that I don't, get you lost or anything. But your English is pretty good,
Thanks so much.
Like, going back to the subject of the students here in the schools.
Right.
Like, they have nobody really that they can't really practice outside the classroom. So what I would do is that I'll stay in touch with them, like, give them my number, we form a group on WhatsApp or whatever, we keep in touch
Awesome.
every now and then, I'll send them videos and I'll try my best to, like, one at a time, have a short convo with them whenever they're available, do Skype calls or whatever.
Interesting. Cool.
But, it's just, they have to find the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not easy to, like, make time to be able to get online and speak with people, you know what I mean?
Right. Let's change the subject. I mean,
All right.
English is fine. All is well. Living in Saudi. How do you?
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you? What is your opinion now after you lived like 10 years? How do you? What would you say to people? I mean, generally speaking.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to
Speaking
go.
of your, your experience. Speaking from your experience.
The people. In
Yeah,
science.
I mean, share us your experience.
Oh, okay.
I know it's been difficult at the beginning. Anywhere you go, I mean, when you're foreign to a country, a certain country,
yeah.
you're pretty much gonna find some kind of
Yeah, no
difficulty.
no doubt.
But now, I mean, you've been here for a while, man, quite a while.
I have.
Do you think did you adapt to the culture? Do you find yourself like?
I wouldn't say that I really adapt. I just got used to it. You know what I mean? I accepted it for what it was.
Right.
At the beginning, when I first came to Saudi, it was very frustrating because not too many people spoke English. You know what I mean?
Right.
Number two, like when I first got here, in the U.S. you have like all these different channels. You have HBO, you have ESPN. When I came here, I only had
That's
two
what
channels.
Yeah.
And the weather was hot as hell, so like when I first came here, I was in an apartment with no AC.
Forgot about that.
Mosquitoes buzzing all over my head, man. I was like, wow, when's winter gonna come around?
There's no winter, especially in Jeddah.
And then I realized I'm in the Middle East. I'm never going to experience winter here. But back on the subject of the people, they looked at me as a foreigner. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, he's American. He's here in Saudi. What is he doing here?
They always have this shock.
They have
when they meet you. Oh,
they have these stereotypes, their own perceptions of
Let's
Americans.
go into this act.
Like, hey, so you're an American living here in Saudi, just blending in with the people. Like, how did you do that? I said, well, I just decided to come here. Like after.
Yeah. By the way, what made you come here?
Oh yeah, okay. Well.
Is it an interest and then you?
Well, actually, my father, he converted like in the 70s.
Cool.
So I was actually born Muslim, just so you know that. And he came over here like in the late 90s, and he was here like for a couple years, and then he got my family and me like some visas. We came over here. At the beginning, it was hell.
So yeah,
like I told
it was
you
a
before.
shared kind of.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible. First experience was terrible. Nobody liked the same sports I liked. Right. TV was garbage, and I didn't really know how to connect with the people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then I made a friend who spoke English pretty well. So he pretty much explained everything to me, like how to interact with people, the places to go to when I want to, for enjoyment. Because I'm a very active person, you know what I mean? I like to play basketball every now and then, but here everybody's into football or soccer, as they call it in America, you know? Cool. I wasn't really interested in that sport, so it was really depressing at the beginning. Lonely. Yeah, it was hot. There weren't too many places to go out for recreational activities, you know what I mean? Right. So I was like, what am I doing here? When I landed my first job, things got a little easier. I started making money, you know what I mean? Right. I made a couple friends here and there, and then I found like some Americans living in the compounds. I used to go over visit them. So it made me feel a bit more comfortable when I was here.
And it got easier ever since.
Yeah, we share our stories about in Saudi, you know. Nice. And we pretty much had similar.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you, where are you from?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Can you tell us about Pittsburgh?
You want to know something?
No, yeah, I want to understand the difference between people from Pittsburgh or life in Pittsburgh and other states or.
Well, I can't say too much about other states, but Pittsburgh was known.
What kind of culture? I don't know, man.
It's just pretty laid back, you know what I mean? Like Pittsburgh was known for like its steel factories, you know, we produce steel, and then we had like the steel market crashed, and then the economy kind of went down in Pittsburgh. Right. Yeah, we had things weren't pretty good when I was there. Yeah. You know, like jobs weren't widely available.
You studied high school?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have the privilege to go to college. You know, financially, financially I wasn't good. So, and I really didn't have the time. I was supporting myself and stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought coming to Saudi wouldn't be a really bad idea. You know, like I can probably start over here. You know, do something, make a bit more money, and I was right. I mean, it was good. You know, after I got used to the country and I adapted a little bit and made friends, you know, things gotten pretty easy. But to be honest with you, like it was a long ride, and I believe that there is no purpose for me being here now. You know, the whole economic situation has changed, like especially like in English teaching, like
the whole scene has
everything
shifted.
has changed, and COVID just contributed to that.
I mean, online learning is now
man,
everywhere.
Less money, and it's not as interesting as being in a classroom. You know what I mean? You can't even really interact with the students. Just online, you never know if they're paying attention or doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you know, I got a daughter in the States from a previous marriage, and I have a son here in Saudi with my current wife, and I just want to be around both my children. You know what I mean? Like I know kids need.
It's hard to be separated from each other.
It is, man, and you know, like the whole financial situation with me isn't as good as it used to be. So, to be honest with you, if I am to struggle, I'd rather struggle back home as opposed to being in a foreign country. And
if you had the chance to start all over in the States, where would you go? Besides your daughter being with you, would you go back to Pittsburgh, or would you chase a different career? What do you do?
This is a really good question. I don't really know where I'll be. Like, it depends on wherever I can find a decent job.
All right.
I know for a fact that I probably wouldn't be in Pittsburgh. Like,
you wouldn't chase like a career like in acting or whatever. Everybody's doing that.
A lot of people, you know, it's strange. It's funny that you asked me that, because a lot of people, they were like, why don't you get into, you know, like some sort of showbiz, like become an actor or a singer? Like, well, it's not really my thing. I never actually did it before. But
and you mentioned like before start the podcast, you also rap.
I do. So, like occasionally, it's like a hobby of mine. I just do it for the fun of it. I never really got serious about it. You know what I mean? But I have some plans, you know, some ideas in my head that I plan to pursue, like once I do get back home, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just complicated right now, like with family and children.
Things will get easier.
I'm not as young as I used to be, you know what I mean? Times have changed.
Speaking of being young, what a person what am I supposed to do? For example, I'm getting old myself, and you're getting old.
Yeah.
Would those dreams still be alive? For example, if you want to pursue a career in, I don't know,
Well, you're never.
singing or whatever.
Well, like
Age plays a huge factor, but
it does, but I think it's more about how creative you are and the type of material you produce. You know what I mean? Because age really doesn't play a role like in acting, and yeah, you're supposed to look good, present yourself in a particular way, but at the same time, like you're never too old to pursue your dreams.
cool.
I know some people who have started saying and acting like later in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have to be ambitious. That's what it's all about.
And you read stories about actors who started very late,
Yes.
at a very old
Yes.
age.
Like let's take Morgan Freeman for example.
Morgan Freeman started late.
He started like in his early to mid 30s, and
Oh,
he became one of the biggest actors in the world, man.
Cool.
Yeah, so
And also, what's his name? The Iron Man guy.
Robbie Downey Jr. right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
yeah.
I think
he
he
was.
was an addict before.
He
started
had a complicated
acting,
life,
yeah.
man. And then boom, all of a sudden he landed this really big role, and now look, he started getting.
Yeah, being famous in America.
Yeah.
That's
Start getting roles
everybody's
thrown
dream.
at him. It's all about who you know, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like connections are everything. Like whenever you want to get into the music industry, or you want to become an actor or singer, whatever, like it's all about who you know. Because there are a lot of talented people out there, but because they're not in the right place, don't know the right people, they don't really get a fair shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all about that. Yeah.
My mind is all over the place. What do you want to say?
I want to ask you a couple questions,
Right.
man. Like, your situation is kind of similar to mine, but different in a way. Like, you and I both here in Saudi. Basically, we're trying to, just
Fit in.
survive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have any goals for the future? Like, you have any, anything you want to do? You set your mind to anything like you want to achieve, in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. So I had this dream I told you about, like being a filmmaker.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't go well for me to study abroad, to study in the States. But I still have this nagging feeling that I should write some scripts. I should start doing something.
Make some amateur.
Yeah. Now I know myself, like I can be creative being a writer, but it's the tools that sometimes that I need. Being able to create a scene without using words, for example. This is a very hard thing. I mean,
It is.
transferring your thoughts as a screen or as a scene. Being a screenwriter, actually.
I hear you. You know any friends who are like?
I do, and they gave me like tips and everything. But
you basically learn from each other. You rub off on you, man. You get ideas. We
yeah,
share opinions,
but the thing is,
ideas.
when you actually put in the work and you start writing, this is when you actually have to be very inspired.
True.
Somehow.
True.
The inspiration gate opens up, and you can see it. You can see pictures, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the more you do it, the better you become. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this is one of the things I wanted to do. Doing a podcast is, I'm trying to have fun and see how it goes. Maybe we get something out of it.
You never know, man. This could be a start. You know what I mean? Could be
Yeah.
the beginning of greatness. You know.
Inshallah. Well, I wanted to ask you about the UFOs.
The
in America.
UFOs. Oh, okay.
What's going on, man?
Unidentified flying objects.
Is it real?
And to be honest with you, man, like I don't
Space and UFOs.
I don't really believe in extraterrestrial life forms. Extraterrestrial life forms.
Terrestrial life. Nice.
Or unidentified flying objects.
Yeah.
I know there have been reports here and there about sightings of UFOs, but they don't really have anything to back up what they say. You know what I mean?
Even the pictures and the live videos.
Yeah, they don't really have any
Do you think they're fake?
authentic footage. I'm not going to say that they're fake, but I'm pretty sure that there were some strange sightings in the sky, but could have been anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just don't really get too deep in.
You don't believe in jinn?
Well, now we're on the topic of. Okay.
So if we believe
well, I
in
have-
jinn, maybe we believe in
I have to, but you see, like you
extraterrestrial.
see, jinn is sort of like, some creation before mankind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were living on Earth before we came here, and they're still here.
What if they developed and became like space aliens? I mean,
They
the
could,
jinn
but
themselves.
I thought that we were
I'm just
kind of
having
living
fun
in
with those
alternate
ideas.
universes or something, man. Like, I've never seen it, but because I have my faith, I have to believe that they exist, even
Yeah.
though I've never seen them for myself. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been reading a lot of weird stories, not about jinn. There's so many weird stories about jinn.
Yeah.
But there's something else. People who kind of leave their souls leave their bodies.
Yeah. Okay.
And they experience some out of
Body experience.
extraterrestrial. What's the word?
Extraterrestrial life form.
Extraterrestrial
Extraterrestrial experience.
Yeah.
Well,
Basically, the souls, what do you call it? Get out of their body, and they
Okay.
see things, or they see the world, and they
see the
feel
world
like
for as
this.
it is.
The feeling that everything has been lifted off their
That
weight.
curtain's been removed, and they see
Yeah,
the
and they're
world for-
happy somehow.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many stories. Even there's a famous writer and animator called Malik Najr. This story has been
Oh,
out
okay.
for a couple of days. He basically said the same thing. He would basically his story is that he's been suffering from certain pain in the groin area.
Okay.
right?
It's unfortunate.
He went to check and talked to doctors, and they said you're fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Okay.
Yeah. He tried all sort of medicines and everything. It didn't work out. The pain started just to get bigger and stronger and stronger.
Is somebody you know personally, or just?
No, he's a famous guy. I mean,
Oh, okay.
his interview on television.
right,
I mean,
gotcha.
it's
All
been
right.
out for those in those couple of days, the
I
last
get
couple
you,
of days.
okay.
Anyways, the guy is kind of well known for his reputation. He's a pretty stand-up guy. I actually met him once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, he's an educated guy. He's not like spiritual kind of
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
thinker. What do you call it? I mean,
Yeah.
he's not obsessed with those spiritual ideas or
Like conspiracies or
he's not a conspiracy guy,
Okay.
as far as I know. Anyways, so he's been suffering from this pain to the point he couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat. The pain just got worse.
Oh, that'd be frustrating. Man.
Yeah. So he started. He was driving somewhere, going from A to B, and the pain got so much worse he couldn't drive. He decided to just stop.
And the doctors couldn't give him
And
a
lay down.
diagnosis or anything like that.
No, the doctor said he's fine. There's nothing wrong with his body.
That's bizarre.
Physically speaking. So he stopped the car and he said, "I'm gonna just lay down. Hopefully somebody would see me and save me or do something, because this is it."
Wow.
He felt like this is it. This is the end. And he laid down. What he said that at the moment he laid down, he was like out. He felt his soul just got out of his body, got out of his body.
Came out of the body.
Yeah. And went to the skies. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. And he started seeing animals, angel-like animals, angelic animals, if you will.
Was it like a near-death experience?
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Flashes.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
what
that?
Yeah, I think it was a near-death experience.
Oh, okay.
And he started to see some animals that looked like angels, and
Animals. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
and he talked to them, and he felt very, very happy. Kind of, what he described is like it's a different feeling from being happy in this world. It's like nothing else mattered, and the whole being a responsible person or an adult in life just that weight has been lifted off his shoulder.
Sort of like
Is that a
out of
correct
body.
expression?
Yeah.
Am I doing good?
You're doing pretty good, man.
All right.
Keep it up.
Remember, this is a learning podcast as well.
You know, there are several people who have said they had out-of-body experiences, you know, like they were like near death.
Yeah.
And then he had this feeling of relaxation and,
It's weird.
I mean, I don't know.
That makes you think about the extraterrestrial activities.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
So yeah.
Oh, well, do you actually believe these people are what they say? Like, you think that you actually have that near-death experience? I know that, like,
They
you have
said
these
they had it.
flashbacks of life, of your childhood, and, you know, parts of your life and all, but
Well, there are so many unexplained things, like what do you call it? Deja vus. I mean,
Yeah.
they try to explain it, but it's still not as clear what it is.
near-death,
You see,
have
like you see
hallucinations.
flashes of your life.
Yeah,
Suddenly
yeah.
you're in a place with, okay, I remember this. I remember being here. I remember saying this, saying this, saying that.
That's crazy, man.
So yeah, I don't believe it or not believe it. I'm standoffish when it comes to that.
Well, you know, several people have reported having this kind of out-of-body experience, you know what I mean? I mean, are they telling the truth? I don't know. But doctors, I believe, mentioned something about this, like near death, you have this sort of out-of-body experience. You see things and,
Right.
you know, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't really know what to believe, you know what I mean?
Can you get closer? Because I think
Yeah, okay.
the camera. Anyways, I think that's it. Yeah. What do you-
Okay.
what do
Unless
you
you have anything else to talk about, you know, something interesting.
This is me being podcasting for the first time.
There's a first time for everything, man. You didn't do too bad, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
You know, for me, it's my first time as well. Like,
I
trying to
appreciate your coming here and
contribute.
putting up with. We were trying to figure out how to set up the whole thing.
see
Took
we're
us
sharing a
while.
mic here because we were
Yeah.
unable to connect two of them, you know?
So we booked a session and yeah, inshallah we'll see more of this podcast.
Yeah. We'll be better prepared as well.
Inshallah. Well, this is actually a conversation, Annie.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to think of it as a conversation. It's not like
you know, at the beginning, you know, like you're a bit nervous. You don't know exactly what to say or what topics to bring up. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more comfortable you feel. You know what I mean?
What was the most? Let me just ask you this: what was the most frustration thing you experienced being here? When it
Oh.
comes also to dealing with students, especially.
Oh, the most frustrating thing I've experienced in Saudi, I'd rather not talking about. It was quite personal. I've been going through
Let's
that.
not talk about personal
Yeah,
stuff, but
I was in this situation for a while. And when I finally came through it, I was like, oh, thank God, you know what I mean?
alhamdulillah.
Yeah, everybody has their ups and downs in life, you know, their experiences, but, you know, that's what makes you stronger, you know what I mean? Like, when you go through life, you're going to have your good experiences, your bad experiences, your ups and downs, but you learn from this, and it
Right.
makes you come out stronger, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own struggles, regardless, no matter who they are, where they come from, how wealthy they are, we all
Everybody
have
has his
struggles.
own hardship.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know. I saw this quote: "Choose your heart."
Choose your heart.
Choose your heart. I mean, whether it's marriage or
Follow your heart.
living.
Choose your heart, follow your heart.
No. The hard thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, which one is it? Is it being outside of your country? Everybody has his own hardship, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of choose something, but you don't really choose it. I mean,
True.
it's been chosen for you.
Sometimes you have no control
Yeah,
over what.
sometimes like
comes
it is
at
what it
you in
is.
life.
You've been here,
Yeah.
and you deal with it.
You know, like, I'm
Getting stuck.
I'm older, man. Like, I've been through a lot. So what I learned is that whatever is thrown at you in life, it was meant to be. Try to remain patient, deal with it, never give up, stay positive, and eventually it will pass. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I've been through so much in life, man. Back home and here in Saudi, and every time I would come through, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all about your mindset. A lot of people very easily, you know, break down and give up when it going gets tough, you know what I mean?
Right.
But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to stay positive, you know, aim yourself in a direction and go for it. And eventually things would work out.
What kept you going? I mean,
Well, good
the whole
question.
time.
What kept me going? To be honest with you, man, I believe it was my faith. If my faith, if I didn't have faith, like I really didn't believe in what I believe in, you know what I mean? I probably would have given up a long time ago, lost my mind, started abusing drugs or whatnot, you know, but that kept me going.
Did you like have moments where you started thinking about, I don't know, suicide?
I never had suicidal thoughts, man. That's like, that was not an option, but I have reached that level of depression, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, this is it, you know, I don't think there's any way out of this. But I never had that thought, you know what I mean? Because what is that going to solve, you know? Okay, so you end it all. Boom. Now what? You know what I mean?
Now you ended your life.
You never know what will
happen.
happen.
I guess.
No, not really, because you don't know exactly where you're going to go. Like, once you make that decision, you might regret it later, you know what I mean? I mean, nothing
And then
is...
people depending on you, that's another thing.
Yeah, especially if you have people who are depending on you. It's kind of selfish to just say, well, you know, figure it out on your own. I'm out. Peace. I mean, that's just really difficult.
That would be
Selfish.
the easy. I mean,
It's never an easy way out, man, because we were talking about faith, religion earlier.
Right.
Like, if you really believe in what you believe in, then that's not an option. You know what I mean?
true.
You know,
It's haram to be.
yeah, and I don't really want to get deep into
I'm
religion.
just thinking I'm just here to think philosophically.
Yeah.
Thinking philosophically. I'm
Even
trying to-
though I do have faith, I wouldn't consider myself like the most religious person. You know what I mean? I'm not that religious, but I do have my faith.
And sorry, man, to interrupt you. I keep interrupting you.
It's all good, man. Say what you want to say, man. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
I notice, mashallah, some people who enter Islam, okay, and they start being very, very religious.
Oh, yeah.
What's with that?
That
what's
there's
happening?
there's a big difference. Like when you're born Muslim and then you convert, and not just necessarily into Islam, but any religion, any faith. Whether you're an atheist, you become Christian, or you're Christian, you become Scientologist, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the converts, like they lived their life, you know, before, like how they used to live. They would do everything, go out, have fun, drink, take drugs, and, you know, not
So it
really
was
have a
easy
care
for
in the
them,
world.
and-
Yeah, like
and you suddenly stop.
yeah, but when you convert, especially like those coming from the States, I noticed that most of them, they lived that life, they've been there, did that. Once they convert, they become really strict. I've seen several people like that.
Is it because they've been taught to be strict
I guess it's because they want to change, you know what I mean?
and they want to experience something else?
Yeah, usually the people who's been through a lot in life, and now they see like a way to like turn everything around. Like, I used to live this life, I had all these issues, and now here I am trying to better myself.
Right.
Is it regardless of what religion
Exactly.
you get into, like when you're seriously trying to leave your past behind you and make a change for yourself, most people when they do that, they tend to become, you know, serious. I've seen people who were like in this wherever in the world, once they become Muslim, or they really get serious about their Christianity or whatnot, they tend to be very strict, you know, because they have this feeling of, you know, turning their lives around,
Right.
and leaving that reckless past behind them. I never had the privilege to experience that because, you know, I was born Muslim, you know what I mean? And I have friends of all faiths, you know what I mean? It's very unfortunate that
Why would you say that? I mean,
okay, I'm gonna get to the reason why I said that.
Right.
It's
So
very
continue.
unfortunate that people use religion to judge others, regardless of what faith you have.
To use religion to judge people.
Yes,
Okay.
like say for example, well, I believe in this, you believe in that. Like, how could you blah blah? You know, all the tension and all that.
Very
Like,
unfortunate that you were born Muslim and not experiencing the other way around.
no,
converting to Islam.
not really, but you know, like it's an
Okay.
experience that I wish
You had it?
I had. Yeah.
Right.
Because usually when people like they have a certain lifestyle and then they try to make that change, you know, it affects you in a way. Like, have you noticed that in a lot of other countries where people are like born into a certain faith, you know what I mean? It's just normal to them. It's just like a No, it's like a normal thing to them.
Yeah, it's just life.
Yeah, and
Right.
I've been doing it since day one. You know what I mean? So I'm not really too serious about it. Like I've been practicing ever since I was a kid. But when you're coming from a life of a reckless lifestyle, and then you're trying to better yourself, you don't necessarily have to be
Very restricted.
like non-religious. Like you could be religious, but you're just not practicing enough. Like you could try to better your life by getting more serious about your beliefs and your faith, and that can also have that effect on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm not really big on religion. It's not a topic I really like to talk
Yeah.
about. It's a very sensitive topic.
Yeah, it's
you know
a very
what I mean?
sensitive one. Yeah.
And as I told you before, like I have.
It's just
people of
I'm
all
trying to
faiths.
share your experience.
Yeah, I have
to
people of all faiths. I respect all
Right.
faiths. You know what I mean? We're all children of Adam.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So.
and we shouldn't be labeled for our religion
No,
or
look,
judged
I-
by. You know.
And as I was saying before, people would like you have in India, for example, you have Buddhists, you have Muslims, and
Right.
this causes all this tension.
And
At the end
everybody's
of-
living their own life.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're all human. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like judge a person by his actions, not by his beliefs. You know what I mean? Or his lifestyle. Like that's his life. He's free to do whatever he wants. Who am I to judge?
Cool.
Like you have your life, I have my life. I'm gonna live my life
Yeah.
the way I want to. You live the life the way you live. Like if I
Exactly.
believe what you're doing is not right, then you'll be judged at the end. So same with me. You know what I mean?
True.
But who am I to judge? I don't judge people, man. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No one is perfect. So, what's with the judging and everything?
You know, where do it gets me are the stereotypes.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like you
what
see it
I was
everywhere,
gonna
like in the media, like in Hollywood, and everywhere. You got all these
You're being
stereotypes about different
stereotyped
people,
because
different
your
beliefs.
ethnicity or whatever color.
I see you as just another dude sitting across from me. That's all I see. I don't judge you by where you come from or
True.
your beliefs or anything
That's how
like
it should
that. Yeah, it should be, man. Like,
Yeah. A lot of.
as I was saying before, like the whole stereotype thing they have, like you'll find it everywhere, like on TV, like in the news, like they have
And you
these-
can't just shake it off. I mean,
and
it's,
people are
you
growing-
can't change this whole.
Exactly, man. But you're growing up, you're hearing these things, you're watching these things on TV, and you're like, oh, okay, that's like this.
You're
And
just
this
gonna
person-
have to ignore it.
Yeah, and you have these, and then at the end of the day, when you're all grown up, you have these ideas in the back of your head, and all these stereotypes about specific beliefs and people, you know, nations, and I just think it's not right. You know what I mean?
Cool.
The best thing to break them habits, you know, them having these stereotypes and these beliefs, is to travel the world. I noticed that when I came to Saudi, I had a better understanding about the culture and the people than I did when I was back home.
Right.
I knew very little, and most of what I knew wasn't very positive. And when I came here, I just found out that they're just normal people like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, we come from different walks of life. Is that the
You can
expression?
say that. Yeah, great.
So I have my experience here. You have your experience. You come from. I mean, you're human after all. We're all human. We shouldn't be judged by any.
Who are we
label.
to judge?
I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite TV show? If you watch TV.
Oh, I have several, man. At the moment, I am watching Peaky Blinders, if you know about that one.
I mean, I love Peaky Blinders, but it's too dark for me. I think.
It's kind
I watched the first
Yeah.
season. It's like, okay, this is getting very serious, man.
It is. I'm also a big Punisher fan. I like the Punisher TV show. And
Punisher, the TV show.
Marvel Comics
Yeah, I
character,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah, what's
guy
his
with the
name?
big skull and a shirt, and
Yeah,
goes
I love
around,
it. That's my favorite.
killing bad guys and stuff like that.
It's now like 2 seasons out. Or?
I'm not sure. Like I haven't had the time to sit down in front of the TV and watch anything lately.
I mean, it's a pretty.
Oh yeah, I got a lot going on in my life, man.
I love the show. Yeah.
Yeah, really. What are you watching, by the way? What are you?
Oh man,
what are you interested in?
I love comedies.
really?
Yeah, I love some action, but good action with a story. Like
You like
Punisher.
stand-ups?
Yeah, definitely.
Dave
I watch
Chappelle's
a lot
pretty
of
cool. I like
stand-ups.
Dave Chappelle. You know, stand-up.
Yeah,
comedy.
of course, man. I
He's-
watch Dave Chappelle.
He gets a little political here and there, but you know,
Fine, that's fine by me. I mean,
it's
he's
funny
not doing
at
it
the
to
end of the day. It's funny at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah,
You know what I notice about society, that everybody's become very sensitive.
about politics. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to be careful what you say now, because
of course, man.
it might affect your career. And I mean, you shouldn't say things that might offend people in the first place.
Well, that's the thought. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
but-
idea. I mean, you shouldn't be offensive to anybody.
Yeah, but it's gotten to a point that you could be misunderstood. You know what I mean? You say if something comes out the wrong way, you misunderstood it, and people judge you on that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, I can see that. And being judged and walking around eggshells. Is that it?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, okay. there you go.
Tiptoeing on subjects. Some subjects are hard.
You know, the best way
talk
to
about.
avoid getting yourself in trouble with your mouth is just don't say anything offensive. Live your life, focus on you, speak
Right.
your mind, but don't go over, but don't cross the line, and you'll be fine, Rachel. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, my father, the first thing he taught me is to actually think before you talk.
Yeah, that's how it
Just
should
think it over before you say anything.
be. Yeah.
I did it for a while, and then it's like, no, I'm just gonna. I'll say whatever I
It's
say.
gonna speak my mind, right?
Yeah, it's not helpful, honestly. It got me in trouble so many times.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like naturally, your mind would know when you're about to say something dumb or something offensive. So you just have to, you know, be careful. Like, look at your surroundings. Like, what's going on here? Like, is it going to be appropriate? You know what I mean?
That should be the way. Yeah.
You know, I reached a point in which, like, you know, back then in the 80s and the 90s, like, it was pretty much say what you want to say, man. Express
yeah.
yourself openly, but
Time
now
has
times
changed.
have changed,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You have to change with the times. Be
Especially in the
careful.
States. I mean.
Yeah.
Also, I watch. Speaking of TV shows, The Mandalorian. I love that show.
It doesn't ring any bells, man. Like, I haven't seen that
Um,
one.
It's a character from Star Wars.
Star Wars. So it's a sci-fi.
Yeah, it's kind of sci-fi, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And has that character, the Jedi.
Oh, so it's a Star Wars, like,
Does Jedi come from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Or Star.
yeah, Jedi, Star Wars,
Yeah.
man.
So he's trying to
Lightsaber.
save the son of the Jedi.
Does he have a
Jedi.
lightsaber?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's
He's a
Star Wars.
lifesaver, and he has the sword and everything.
How was it? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very, very well written,
Oh, okay.
well thought of, and the character is not that very imaginary or whatever.
Yeah, I get you.
It gets funny sometimes as well. So
you're into
it's
sci-fis?
nice. Yeah, I'm into sci-fi, but I'm into good
Stories.
written and good
Yeah.
stories and good when
Sure.
well-written stories.
You see, this is what a lot of movies and TV shows are missing nowadays. They're like the writing it's not good enough to like draw you in. People just come up with an idea, write anything, and just hope people jump on board. But me, I'm very serious about script
Yeah.
and
Witty comebacks. Or
yeah,
whatever.
it's got to be interesting. Like if it's not like you can't just throw action in there and
Exactly.
good-looking faces and expect people
Make
to
the
get
whole
interested.
thing action.
Yeah,
Come on.
man. You know,
Like the Equalizer too, I love it. Denzel Washington. Who doesn't love Denzel Washington?
Let me give you an example. Like, remember that one TV show came out like in the mid to late '90s, Lost.
Yeah,
All these people on the island, and you don't know
Right.
how they ended up there. It was really
it
interesting.
was beautiful.
At the beginning, it was amazing, man.
And then and then at an opened ending, it's like what's
It
going
dragged on too long, man. It was going on for so long. I started to lose interest, and things got silly. The same thing happened to Walking Dead.
on? Still to this day, I don't understand what's happened. I mean, in
You
the
want me to
show,
spoil
the
it
last
for you?
show. Yeah, what's going on? I mean, the end was very, very vague. I didn't get it.
From what I understand, I could be wrong, is that they were all dead, and their souls were like basically stuck on that island somehow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's what I heard.
Were they living as souls before, or like
They died.
They died at
They
the end.
died, and their souls were like on that
Stuck.
island, stuck.
So we're watching just souls. wandering
Yeah,
around.
yeah. That's what. Remember all them strange occurrences. People just pop out of nowhere and start having conversation with you, and they
Right.
disappear. You never see them again.
I
It's
mean-
kind of odd. I kind of suspected that's what was going on, but
Yeah.
I
I
was
think
right.
I would watch it again just to understand it, because when I watched it the first time, I was like 20 in my 20s, so I didn't
A long
really
time ago,
know
man.
much
You're making
English.
me feel old, man. I was 20 something when I started watching Lost too.
Jumping on a different topic, your taste in music.
Oh, okay.
Let me learn from you, like as an American citizen. I wanna like give me your American thingy.
Well, I like
Make me like
a mix of this and that. You know
let
what
me
I mean?
live this moment,
I like blues, hip hop,
right? This
rock
is
music.
The genres, yeah.
Yeah. I
More
like-
specific, like give me like names. Who
Oh,
do
okay.
I listen to? Who
Well,
should I listen to?
I like you're younger than I am. We're not of the same generation, so you might not necessarily like what I like. I'm all about classic,
All right.
old school.
Test
You know
me.
what I mean? I like Pop, Biggie,
Okay.
and Bone Thugs and Harmony. This is hip hop
Right.
and rock music. Guns N' Roses. And,
I've heard a lot about
Kiss
Guns N'
and,
Roses.
what do you call it?
Kiss.
Aerosmith, Motley Crue, Megadeth, stuff
Nice.
like that. I actually grew up listening to rock music before I got into hip hop. You know what I mean? And then I got into hip hop, and I always loved blues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like I like soul music. I like a mix of everything. You know what I mean? So I'm not really into a specific type of music. I like whatever sounds good.
Exactly.
It depends on my mood. You know what I mean?
That's my mindset as well when
But
it comes to listening to music.
I also like lyrics. Like, what is music without
Uh-huh.
decent lyrics?
Right.
Like nowadays, people just say whatever they want to say, put a nice tune to it. And, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Like for me, it's more about the lyrics.
What about pop? Nothing.
I'm not really a big pop fan. Only pop artist
Okay.
I ever liked was Michael Jackson, and I still like Michael Jackson till this day. Very creative, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Back in the day, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm always an MJ fan, man.
I'm a bit of pop junkie.
Pop junkie. Give me some names, man. Who are you into?
Yeah, I listened to. Started with maybe Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber, those guys.
You're
Miley Cyrus,
Oh, you're into
big
the
fan.
you're definitely like into the new stuff, man.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus, just
And now Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay.
She did.
You and I are like we got totally different music tastes.
But I also love rock, man. I love.
I mean, to each his
Get
own.
in-
Like you like what you like. I
Getting
like
into
all
my
that.
feelings, kind of.
Yeah, I like remember when I told you like not judging people by what
Right.
they're interested or believe. Yeah, it's all cool.
It's all music to me. Like,
Yeah, it is, man.
I mean, I love a good taste in music, and sometimes pop brings that to me. Like,
Yeah,
it brings a certain feeling sometimes.
that uplifting feeling,
Yeah, yeah.
the happiness,
Right. So I'd like to be in that state when I'm depressed or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like partying without actually going to a club.
I get what you
that's
mean.
What
man.
that's how I look at it.
But when I'm really like in deep thought and like I just want to relax my mind, I listen to instrumentals.
Right.
I like instrumentals. That comes that relax the mind and
Cool.
helps you think, get through your day. You know what I mean?
So guys, listen to Peggy.
Biggie, not Biggie. Biggie Smalls.
Sorry. Tupac. Biggie and Guns N'
Oh.
Roses.
Yeah.
Kiss. I need to get into
Motley
that.
Crue, Megadeth, Bone Thugs, and any type of blues. I'm like a big blues fan.
All right, that's a wrap, everybody. I guess. Thank you so much for your time, Hamza.
Thanks for having me, man.
It's a pleasure. تابعونا. We'll be inshallah posting episode every now and then. This is the first one. Sorry for the mistakes, whatever.
Not perfect, but
Yeah.
I don't think we did
it's
too
not
bad.
the best thing, but inshallah we'll get there. I haven't named the podcast yet. Do you have any suggestion?
I do, but I'm gonna leave it up to you. You
It's
have
fine.
nothing?
I don't have anything. The Fuad show doesn't sound.
The Fuad show. Oh, okay.
Who am I to call myself?
Do you have a nickname?
That's the ego in me, like talking. Hey,
Fuad's
I'm the
Flow.
Fuad.
Fuad's Flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you could say something. I don't know, like.
Fuad Flow. Nice.
Yeah. See.
Would you
Kinda.
do another podcast? Would you think about it? Me or somebody else?
I would,
Do you
man.
like this experience? Or?
That's pretty good. Something to do. You know what I mean? Something
the best,
interesting
I
to
know.
do. I have some people that might be interested in coming over through.
Cool,
You know
cool,
what I mean? I got a few friends here and there.
All right. We'll think about names inshallah later.
All right.
For now, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Hamza, for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Peace up.
Yeah.
When calling out your name, I've never felt the same, and it makes me feel a life that is mundane. Read on, it's been so long till I'm coming of age. failing in the night, much better than the light. Although I feel freer, I know I pick a fight. Failing in the rain, it don't mean a thing unless I feel freer, but look the same. Read on, it's been so long till I'm coming of age. Farewell, I might say to you as I'm coming of age. Failure, the words that I might say to you as I feel my feet under these clouds. Surprised of how I got so high. There's not one thing that I would even try. Lonely as hell,